are fired up. Let's go. Courtney Lau alongside Olympic bronze medalist Holly McPeak, and we've got our eyes on the back row play for both of these teams today.
Both of these programs serve extremely tough, so the first contact is going to determine a lot who's successful today.
Yeah, and let's start with the Texas libero in Emma Halter. Electric back there.
Emma Halter runs the backcourt for Texas. She loves to take the first ball. Look at her take that ball from the other player, but she knows where to put it, right in her setter's hands. Ella Swindle able to run the middle on that perfect pass, all her options available. Jenna Wennis right here takes this serve down the line, puts it in Avery Carlson's hands, and then you see all the options available, back row as well as 3 options in the front row, high percentage attack kills. For Kentucky, Molly Tezza, the libero, really worked on her passing. Look at her push this ball up to Emma Groen, who can run the offense perfectly from this location. She's got 3 front row attackers and a back row C to Megan Wilson if she wants it. And then for Eleanor Bevan, she's been the libero for Kentucky often, but she's a reliable passer, now as a DS, and then able to get this ball up to Emma Groen, who can run the quick. This freezes the middles on the other side of the net and allows an opening for Brooklyn DeLay to score.
And you see how important that first contact, that pass is, so they can get the ball to players like Madison Skinner, who is a 3-time national champion, and Brooklyn DeLay, who was the SEC Freshman of the Year last year. Both of those players carrying an enormous load for their respective teams. And now a big match, Holly, because there's some history between these two teams. Obviously, they played for the 2020 National Championship with Kentucky winning that, but 2 Longhorns used to play for the Kentucky Wildcats in Madison Skinner and Reagan Rutherford.
And they have not played since that national championship match. But you're right, 2 former Kentucky players now wearing burnt orange. And that makes for a little bit more emotion in this match today.
Should we say spicy?
Spicy is a perfect word for it.
And we are definitely here for it. Devin Kahahawai will put that on the floor, and Texas will take the first point.
I talked to David Hunt, the assistant coach for Texas. He talked about this rotation being their best scoring rotation when Avery Carlson's at the service line.
You see Avery Carlson there, number 17 in the burnt orange. She transferred in from Baylor, one of 2 setters that Texas will use. They run a 6-2 system, so they always have 3 attackers in the front row. Emma Halter with the bump set to Skinner, and the diving save by Emma Groen, an All-American setter for Kentucky. Groen going back row to Brooklyn DeLay, who is rejected by the Texas block, and Mariana Singletary.
Mariana Singletary, number 11 in burnt orange, has become a force defensively at the net for Texas.
In comes Haley Melby from the left side. And that one passed set too tightly to the net. Madison Skinner couldn't go get that.
Well, she actually got her fingertips off of it, and it goes off the Kentucky block.
Okay.
Texas point.
You know, it's got to be an interesting feeling if you're Madison Skinner coming back to Kentucky. She was a part of that Kentucky national championship team in 2020, and now has won 2 national championships at Texas.
And she has not been back in this gym since then. So it's got to be an emotional day, and as well for Reagan Rutherford, who will come in as part of the 6-2 rotation. She played here for Kentucky last year.
And also was on that 2020 national championship team. There's Reagan at number 10 in the burnt orange. So now Eleanor Bevan steps back, and we just mentioned her, one of the great back row players for Kentucky. Most of her career was the libero, and now playing in the DS role. Brooklyn DeLay with a hammer!
We talked about that serve and pass game. Tough serve from Kentucky, and then an overpass turns into an easy point at the net for Kentucky.
Carlson on the run, the bump set to Kahahawai. Emma Groen going with Brooklyn DeLay. Carlson to Skinner on the right pin. Halter with the one-handed save and just short, as Jordan Daly is going to be able to get that point for Kentucky.
Incredible hustle. Carlson sticks her arm out. Look at Emma Halter put her track shoes on, run that ball down. They couldn't get it over.
There's a perfect pass from Emma Halter. It means they can run the middle, but Mariana Singletary a bit long.
I like that set. Mariana Singletary just needs to get on top of that ball. Good first contact for Texas. That's the kind of pass they need to beat Kentucky today.
We have seen Kentucky's service game. They can be really good, and then they can have a lot of errors. We saw them against Florida a couple weeks ago, and their serving was really tough against the Gators. It's coming over. Madison Skinner. There's going to be a net violation on Kentucky.
Texas leaving Maddie Skinner on the right side to attack from there the last 2 rotations.
There's Craig Skinner. He brought the first national championship back to the SEC when they won in 2020 against this Texas team. Taking on Jarrett Elliott, who now has gone back-to-back national championships, a 3-time champion, and just has done amazing things with this Texas program. Always a program that's tough to play and physical. Jenna Winnis will take the swing. And it's long, point Kentucky.
Kentucky making some nice decisions when the set isn't ideal to make the setter play that first ball for Texas. So somebody else has to step in and set that ball. And it's usually not a high percentage kill.
Here's Molly Tuzzo. Serves at Winnis. Through the Kentucky block goes Jenna Winnis, the transfer from Minnesota.
That time Texas was out of system, but Jenna Winnis blasts through the seam. Maddie Skinner in the backcourt puts up a beautiful handset, and look at Winnis just go after that. There's a little space between the 2 Kentucky blockers.
I feel like Jenna Winnis is playing so much more confidently this season.
She's one of the players on the court all the time for Texas, and I think that gives her a lot of confidence.
In flies Brooklyn Delay, it's long. And Jenna Winnis, one of several transfers that are making an impact for Texas. And if you're not using the transfer portal, you've got to. It gives you such a competitive edge. Texas has done a good job of that.
Some key players you see accounted for 60% of Texas points this season, all from the transfer portal.
Wow. Kaylee Akana, the server being one of them in the back row.
Megan Wilson taking a big swing on the right side, and she's been really confident attacking the ball the last couple of matches.
She started her career at Oklahoma before coming to Kentucky.
I don't think you can have a match where you don't use the word transfer
Yes,
anymore.
exactly. Avery Carlson in the middle to 8 names. Brooklyn Delay will take that.
When you can turn defense into offense, look at this dig by Bevan, and then Gromes able to push that ball flat out to Brooklyn Delay, who scores on the left side. They need a lot more of that today.
Brooklyn Delay carries a big load. They ask her to play 6 rotations. She gets the most swings. And actually, that really happened last year, her freshman year. Reagan Rutherford, who's now playing for Texas, went out with an eye injury. That's when Brooklyn Delay moved to 6 rotations.
And sometimes those are a blessing in disguise, right? You get those extra reps, that confidence, and she's very comfortable in that go-to role, passing, setting, doing it all. And you see her take a huge swing on the left side there. She has been so impressive the last few times we've seen her.
Love it, so confident, just a sophomore, and you kind of forget that. Hitting .222 against ranked opponents, a little bit higher, of course, against unranked opponents, but
offensively, her numbers coming up.
She's had a couple of errors already today, 3 kills. Service error for Kentucky.
Brooklyn Delay's been working on that top spin jump serve, has had a lot of success, but sometimes when you're going for it, you're going to make those errors.
Jenna Winnis will take over serving for the Longhorns. And the teams trade service errors. You know, we mentioned Texas running that 6-2. It's not something that Jarrett Elliott thought that they would be doing, but it fits this personnel. Why is that?
Because they're not passing the ball as well as they have in the past. They're a medium passing team, and it allows them 2 pin options when the pass isn't great. They've also got enough arms that they can put 2 right-siders up there who can score.
Ella Swindle is in setting now, number 1 in the burnt orange. Going to Aiden Ames, just a freshman, with the Gatorade National Player of the Year.
One of the things Texas has worked on is when the pass is a little bit slower, a little off the net, they still want to run their middle. They call this a flare. It's a little bit slower of a tempo, one in the middle, but it keeps their middles involved.
Both of their middles hitting well over 300. As they should. Your middle will hit for a little bit higher of a percentage, like Mariana Singletary does.
That time, Mariana Singletary gets on top of the ball, driving it to the corner. She's got a big offensive window. And Ella Swindle very comfortable getting her the ball. Look at how high above the net. That's scary if you're a defender on the other side.
Asia Thigpen takes that first contact. Brooklyn delays attack into the block of Texas.
Mariana Singletary very disciplined, staying in the middle, knowing that ball is probably going to delay even though she's in the backcourt. Watch her, she just stands her ground, sees the set, and owns it. For Kentucky, this is a new wrinkle in their offense, something that they've been working on. Jordan Daly, who's primarily a middle quick attacker, very comfortable hitting the high ball on the pin. That time without success, but something they're trying to use more.
Yeah, they talked about, Craig Skinner told us how versatile she is, and she's super quick. So wherever they can use her, they want to. And they had the bye week to work on that. Actually, both of these teams are coming off a bye week.
And for Kentucky, they were working on a lot of new offensive routes. Megan Wilson running some new routes, and you'll see Jordan Daly as well.
They serve at Maddie Skinner. That one going over, Jordan Daly waiting. Reagan Rutherford winning the joust.
Tight ball, and Reagan Rutherford is so quick off the floor, very aggressive with her press, and this is how you take care of these tight balls. You got to go up and push hard. She waits for Kentucky to push, pushes second, and she wins the joust.
So Texas has made that double sub, meaning that Avery Carlson and Devin Kahahawai are now in. So Singletary just owning in the middle right now for the Longhorns.
I feel if you're setting against Mariana Singletary, you have to make her move. She takes up so much space defensively.
A player that waited her turn for a couple of seasons, did not transfer, just went to work, kept waiting for her time, and that time is now. Megan Wilson, long point Longhorns, and Texas is the first to 15 in a race to 25 points. Set 1, Texas up by 5. Going to send Avery Carlson over to talk to our up official.
Seems like an awful long time to wait before that challenge.
After review, the ruling on the court is reversed. Point to Kentucky, and they retain their challenge.
Wow, so you do get 2 challenges per match. If you're correct in those challenges, you get to keep them.
Megan Wilson looks like she gets the left hand of Maddie Skinner, hitting that ball flat.
And the SEC is using the Hawkeye system. So they have our broadcast cameras plus 12 extra cameras they can look at and make quick decisions like that.
It's really made a nice difference. Challenge time's much shorter.
I think Coach Elliott was upset about how much longer after the point ended, and we went to a commercial break that then they challenged. Eleanor Bevan behind the service line for Kentucky. Carlson going to Kahahawai.
Devin Kahahawai, number 44 in burnt orange, gives Texas some versatility. She can swing at both pins, got some nice size. The set is behind the 3-meter line, not ideal, but Avery Carlson able to push that ball out in a good spot.
Emma Grome looking for Daly in the middle. It's going over, but Megan Wilson sends it wide. We were talking about Texas's system. They've moved into this 6-2. First 6 matches, they were in a 5-1. Last 6 matches, they have run that 6-2 system, and they've gone 6-0.
Big difference. I mean, I think they played some tougher teams early on, but it's helped them because of the medium passing. We've seen a lot of passes behind the 3-meter line, and if you only have one outlet, the defense can just key on them. But if you have the left and right pin, they have to stay middle and stay neutral.
It's interesting. I feel like we're seeing a lot more 6-2 systems run across the country. You think it's because there's just so much more talent?
I do. I think there's more talent, and if you've got a team with that many good arms, you don't want them sitting on the bench.
Or transferring.
Or transferring. Also gives you a bigger block on the right side because setters tend to be smaller, not always.
Not smaller in heart, that's for sure.
No.
As I'm sitting next to a pretty competitive setter. Here's the difference. The 5-1, you've got 1 setter, 5 hitters. The 6-2, you always have 3 attackers in the front row. The setter is always in the back row.
And if with the 6-2 system, that means you use 2 different setters, because when your setter rotates to the front row, a new setter comes in the back row and a new hitter comes in on the right side.
One arm save for Emma Grome. Brooke Boltima taps it over. Winnis, blocked by Kentucky.
Brooke Boltima, number 8 in white, working so hard. Look at the scramble to get this ball, and then a joust at the net, and then Brooke Boltima stays in the middle. She does not take a play off. Big defensive stop for Kentucky.
3-0 run right now for the Wildcats. Devin Kahahawai off hands.
That time, Texas pushing that ball up in front of the 3-meter line, and they can run a quicker tempo set to the right side.
Career numbers across the board for Devin Kahahawai as she is playing the most that she has in her career. Again, a player that did not transfer, stuck it out, went back to work. Wilson.
Megan Wilson takes a little heat off that, drops it in front of the right back defender. I think Avery Carlson needs to dig this ball just a little bit high. You need to slide under that ball, keep it alive, but Kentucky attacking that right back defender a lot, forcing the setter to dig the ball.
And Megan Wilson now rotates back to serve, and they've had a lot of success in this rotation with her serving. Grome winning the joust at the net, even though she's the smaller player from 8 names.
First of all, setters are great at the joust.
Yeah,
they are used to having to battle at the net, and Emma Grome is very good at this skill. She's prepared to battle 8 names, not so much, and that second touch usually is the deciding factor.
Emma Grome, a 3-time All-American, the 2022 SEC Player of the Year, and then she was the Freshman of the Year before that.
Brooke Boltima just patrolling the net, quick hands over, and has made some nice defensive stops for Kentucky.
And a 3-0 run puts Kentucky in a tie for the national title in 2020. We've already been tied up 8 different times here in the opening frame, playing to 25. Three straight points for Kentucky. And I jinxed it. Service error for Megan Wilson out of the timeout.
Texas leaving Avery Carlson in the front row. Look for Kentucky to attack that.
Carlson number 17 in the burnt orange. And that one sails on Brooke Boltima.
Madison Lilly, assistant coach, is telling Emma Grome where to attack the smaller blocker, Avery Carlson, on the right side for Texas.
Madison Lilly, a good one to listen to, too. former National Player of the Year, won a national championship at Kentucky. It's a setter. Brooklyn DeLay with authority down the line.
Eyes on the bench, and you see Brooklyn DeLay go over the top of Avery Carlson, crushes it down the line. That's a mismatch.
So Texas did sub, and now Ella Swindle will be setting for Texas as Brooklyn DeLay gets ready to serve. Service error. A couple of times for her today.
Yeah, she's just not getting on top of that ball. You need to make sure to come over the top with your hand to keep that ball in the court. But she's not taking pace off of it, so she's staying aggressive.
They go at Asia Thigpen, who's coming back from an injury. Brooke Boltzmann looking better off of 1 foot.
Asia Thigpen is a very athletic freshman who can do it all, and Kentucky really likes having her back on the court. Look at this perfect pass, and then one-on-one because Aiden Ames is late. Boltzmann able to kill that ball.
Brooke Boltzmann just down the road from Cincinnati, Ohio. Ended up redshirting last year, had an ankle injury just the second week of practice that kept her out all season. And that one sails on Ava Sorolfa.
Sarafa's been coming in and doing a good job from the service line, but we're seeing a lot of service errors early in this match.
5 service errors for Kentucky, 3 for Texas. There's always that fine line of serving aggressive, but getting your serve in. That one sends Kentucky scrambling. Couldn't handle the attack from Madison Skinner. Her 3rd kill today.
It's so important when a team attacks your setter defensively that other players step in and set the ball. Look at Reagan Rutherford put up a dime for Maddie Skinner, who crushes that ball for the point.
So Kentucky is going to call a timeout here as Texas up 22-19 in the opening set. We're going to 25, and you have to win by 2. You know, early on, we saw Texas's middles getting after it, and Mariana Singletary, you couldn't ignore her in the middle.
I love her physicality at the net. She's been waiting her turn, and look at her just own the net. She is up there and huge presence defensively, but also making herself more available offensively, and I think the slower tempo set that they're using for Texas is to get those middles involved because she's got such a big offensive window.
You know, the last couple of seasons, we haven't called her name that much, but guess what? SEC Player of the Week this week. Pretty cool.
And well-deserving. She's been incredible and literally hits the hardest ball I've ever seen.
Yeah, Jared Elliott told us she probably has the best arm they've had at Texas, and that says a lot.
That says a lot because there have been some great ones to come out of the Texas volleyball program.
The caveat is the consistency has been a little up and down because of she's got a heavy arm, but can be high error sometimes.
Well, you got to manage the offense when the set's not in the right spot. You got to adjust, and that's what she's trying to learn to manage better.
Kentucky team down 22-19 here in the first set. A Kentucky group that has been at the top of the SEC. I mean, the last 7 years they have won or shared the SEC title, but you know what? Here comes a Texas team who can say the same thing about the last 7 years in the Big 12.
True. I mean, I think it just made the SEC that much better.
And Oklahoma's not too shabby in addition, too. They're scary. Texas needs 3 more points to win the set. A little miscommunication that's going to give Texas 23 points now. Brooklyn DeLay hits that one in the net.
Texas is going after Asia Thigpen, number 20 in white, but she's passing the ball extremely well for Kentucky.
As the #1 player in the state of North Carolina, service error for Emma Halter.
Texas passing with 4 right now.
Service error, it is set point Texas. That's 6 service errors for Kentucky in this first set. Grown to Daly. Got the back corner. Still set point Texas.
The confidence from Brome to Daly has gotten really good. She is such a dynamic attacker. Sees the opening and crossbody to that left back corner.
Took a redshirt year last year, so now in her
block on the right side, and Maddie Skinner is a shutdown blocker. Texas able to win the first set, 25-21.
in the 2020 season is that she got to win that national championship with her sister Avery, who was just playing in the Paris Olympics and won the silver medal with Team USA, and Craig Skinner was there.
He was so proud to be a part of her journey. Avery Skinner did the work. She started as a freshman, sat the bench for 2 years, worked on her game, and then became an All-American. And she's continued with a very hard work ethic to get her to that part where she was a starter at the Olympic Games.
Yeah, very cool. Avery and Maddie Skinner, not related to Craig Skinner.
But related to one another.
Yeah, yes, sisters. Just a good last name.
Reagan Rutherford gets her first real kill, second in the stat books because she won a joust, but gets a swing on the right side for Texas.
Yeah, we were just talking in the break that we really didn't call her name that much in set number one. Obviously, Texas has a lot of weapons, and Reagan being the newest one of them. Jared Elliott has talked about just how much her emotional stability, her calmness has radiated through this team. It's a nice addition. Thrown back to Daly in the middle. Maddie Skinner. And Madison Skinner has her fourth kill, no attacking errors.
Jenna Wenis makes a very impressive dig. This goes off the block. She reaches with her right hand to keep it alive, and then Swindle to Skinner goes cross court for a big transition kill.
Rutherford readjusting. Brooklyn delay, just tip over her head. Skinner unloading through the Kentucky block.
Megan Wilson looked at the right side blocker next to her. Jordan Daly said, where'd that go? Because it went straight down, but on the wrong side of the net.
Emma Halter has helped Texas to 7 points off of her 9 serves. And that's going to be a net violation on Texas.
Big blocking front row for Kentucky.
DeLay, Boltima, and Megan Wilson all up there. Skinner will try to challenge it, and Megan Wilson that time ready to put up the wall.
Megan Wilson for Kentucky, #1 in white, made sure her hands were on the other side of the net, because the harder they swing, the harder that ball goes down if your hands are over the net.
Telzo with the dig. Delay, dug up by Halter. And Reagan Rutherford to the floor.
Another defense to offense play. Look at this dig by Emma Halter. And then Ella Swindle's been working on her back set. When you can get Reagan Rutherford involved in your transition offense, it's a good thing.
918 career kills in her 4 seasons at Kentucky, now playing for Texas. Go to Boltima in the middle.
Emma Grome confident in Brooke Boltima, even though it was one-on-one, Boltima able to turn that away from Singletary for the kill.
Boltima just a worker, takes her craft very seriously, never takes a rep off, gets extra reps in with Emma.
That's who you want to go to battle with, someone like that.
And that'll be a service error for Megan Wilson. Kentucky had 6 service errors in the first set. Is that something you're worried about?
Well, I think they're trying to be aggressive, so they're trying to establish the pace and the aggression, but you got to be careful because I'm not sure they have any aces. They need to pick up the aces.
No, they don't. Neither team has an ace. Delay again. Block still waiting, Devin Kahahawai.
Kahawai has been working so hard on her blocking, and as a right side player, that's a really important skill. You're going against the best left side hitters in the country. Beautiful defensive work at the net for Texas.
Jared Elliott told us her blocking, it was okay, but now she's picking better spots. She's becoming an elite blocker. All right, Jenna Wennis, we see you.
Both sides of the front row defense for Texas have been impressive. That time, Jenna Wennis all over the right side slide from Boltima. Beautiful hand presses back into the net.
3-0 run for the Longhorns. 5 blocks today for Texas. Boltima, her turn for the block party.
So important as a middle blocker to own the net. Anything coming tight, you go get it. This ball's too tight to the net. Jenna Wennis trying to get her feet there, but Boltima strong with her left hand cutting off that angle.
Team leader in blocks, just a freshman. Hawaii.
A lot of heat on that swing, gets away from Asia Thigpen of Kentucky.
Texas is hitting 300 in this set. Meanwhile, Kentucky hitting 0 here in set 2. That Texas block has really stepped up.
That time, Jenna Wennis all over that. Not going to be surprised by the Emma Grome attack when she's in the front row.
And Craig Skinner is going to call a timeout as Texas has its largest lead. Jenna Wennis coming up, and Texas owning the net right now. Excited to be in Birmingham for the Women's Basketball Media Days, both at 11 a.m. Eastern, live on SEC Network and the ESPN app. I can't believe we're already talking about basketball season, but lots of volleyball left to be played. That ends a Texas run. Kentucky's able to get the point out of the timeout thanks to Haley Melby, who has had to step up with Erin Lamb out for, we're really not sure how long she'll be out.
And that's her first kill, her third swing, but first kill. They need her.
This is the 4th match in a row that Erin Lamb has missed with a non-volleyball injury. Wennis take 2, tooling the block.
Texas aware that Emma Grome, the shortest blocker on the court right now on the right side, and they are relentlessly attacking her.
You see Erin Lamb there over on the Kentucky bench area. Good to see her. It was just something they discovered. We don't have any details about what it is other than that it's not a volleyball injury, but it will take some time for her to get back on the floor. Back steps Emma Grome. I feel like Emma has been at Kentucky for like the last 10 years.
She was an impact player from day one, and running this offense, she just keeps getting better.
And it's not easy, too. She had to take over for Madison Lilly, who was the National Player of the Year, who's now on staff and works with Emma every single day.
One of the things I loved hearing is every week, Emma Grome meets with Madison Lilly, one to review matches and then the game plan for the next. So to have that kind of a tutor on your side, extra eyes, like identifying who the blockers are, incredible asset for Kentucky.
It's been such a treat to get to watch Madison Lilly and now Emma Grome in the setting role. Both just amazing setters. Delay out of the back row. Linus will set up Rutherford, and Jordan Daly got a hand on that.
Jordan Daly, 5 in white, is so dynamic. Look at her get outside and work her inside hand to take that angle away from the left-handed Reagan Rutherford of Texas.
Long for Madison Skinner. And it goes wide on Eleanor Bevan.
Mariana Singletary coming back in the front row. Dynamic blockers across the front row for Texas. Singletary, Rutherford, and Skinner. Another missed serve.
Nothing like trading service errors.
Both of them serving aggressive, just missing.
Rutherford, backside and down. Texas up 13-9.
Kentucky going after Maddie Skinner. She puts it up perfect into Ellis Swindle's hands, and the stress on the block. Brooke Boltema late to close on that Rutherford kill because of the perfect pass.
Reagan Rutherford 8th in the SEC in hitting percentage. She's got 3 kills in this set. Just had the 1 in set number 1. Grome flings it back to Megan Wilson.
Those are the kind of swings I like to see from Megan Wilson, using her length, but Emma Grome sets this up, big push, and she's got a huge block in front, but Wilson can go high and deep down that line for the kill.
Double-figure kills in 5 matches for Megan Wilson this season. She's got 4 today. Carlson to Mariana Singletary in the middle.
Another good pass for Texas allows them to run their middle attack, and that's a gap set, which allows Singletary to attack between the 2 blockers.
Net violation on Texas.
Texas block in the net. Brooklyn DeLay's had a little bit of keen on her. They know she's going to get a lot of balls, and they are ready defensively to stop her.
Yeah, Brooklyn DeLay 6 kills, but she's had 6 errors, so that means she's hitting 0. Usually hits 275 on the season. And the service errors, too, have snuck in for Brooklyn DeLay, that time into the net. Her 3rd. Boltema!
2 hitters in the front row for Kentucky, and Grome going that slide set to Brooke Boltema, 1-on-1, and Boltema able to score.
So we got to talk to Brooke Boltema about the work they put in on that slide. It's gotten a lot better.
She's intense and focused, and I love what Craig Skinner says about her. She does not take a play off.
Devin Kahahawai showing off her power.
And if you saw where that pass was for Texas, again, behind the 3-meter line, but because they've got the 6'2", they've got a right side option available, and Kahahawai able to score for Texas on a not-so-great pass.
Now, Jared Elliott told us when he was recruiting Devin, it was the physicality that really stuck out from her, and she's just a player that goes to work. Carlson, the 1-footed off of 1 foot, setting that ball. Winnis tips. Delay back row. Haley Melby wasn't there to swing on that, so Tuzzo sends it over. Melby gets a turn now, but it's long point, Texas.
You talked about Melby not being able to swing because she was trying to dig a tip and ran into one of her teammates. So she was down on the floor trying to get up, and Kentucky just able to get it over and stay in the play.
And that one hit into the antenna, automatically out. Texas now up 18-12 after winning the first set, 25-21. It's the largest lead here for Texas, and Craig Skinner will use his final timeout in this set.
Big blocking advantage for Texas today, and that's really been the difference. Getting defensive stop, holding Kentucky to low numbers. Mariana Singletary, we talked about her being the anchor on the defense as a middle blocker. And then Devin Kahahawai on the right side joining the block party. And then the left side, Jenna Winnis. Texas owning the net defensively with their blocking.
You see their blocks. Mariana Singletary has been all over it, and you can tell with some tough serving and that block pressure, at that block presence at the net, Kentucky's offense is having some problems, which is why they're hitting 088 for the match.
Yes, in Kentucky offensively, their numbers have been getting better and better, but today they're struggling because of the tough serve and obviously the block at Texas.
Well, next Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern here on ESPN, you can catch a top 5 women's volleyball matchup as Stanford takes on Pitt, the #1 team in the nation. It's next Sunday at 3 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Interesting, too, because Pitt, they had to play SMU back-to-back. And on Friday, SMU handed Pitt its first loss of the season.
After Pitt swept them.
Yeah.
3. So incredible, but SMU has had some impressive wins this season, but Pitt has been impressive as well. Olivia Babcock on the right side, Tori Stafford on the left. I expect them to learn from it and bounce back.
Yeah, Pitt had only dropped 1 set prior to that second round against SMU. You think Olivia Babcock in the running for National Player of the Year?
She's in the conversation.
Oh, yeah. That'll be fun. Holly and I will be on the call for that one next week here on ESPN. Texas is trying to go 5-0 in conference play. Kentucky looking for its first home win against Texas since 1993. But Texas has been in control and up big here, 18-13 going to 25. Rutherford off the block. Grown backside to Wilson. Emma Halter leaning in. And Jenna Winnis bounces that through the block.
Megan Wilson took a big rip for Kentucky on the right side, but watch Emma Halter step into it and push it right up to Ellis Swindle, who goes back to Winnis down the line, who rattles it through the block.
Swindle with the back set to Rutherford. Yes, got a touch on it.
Reagan Rutherford is so dangerous from that right side. She can hit the sharp angle, hits the flat ball, that time finding the corner and a piece of the block.
5 kills in this set now for Reagan Rutherford. Just 1 attacking error. She's hitting .556. Walter's gonna bump set Skinner. Tuzzo dug it. Delay back row. And Reagan Rutherford has the hot hand. You gotta feed it.
Definitely for Texas, especially in transition. I'll tell you, Kentucky trying some new things, leaving Megan Wilson in the middle defensively and offensively, and Jordan Daly was playing on the right side.
Craig Skinner told us they were experimenting, moving Jordan Daly around because of her versatility. Texas's block is just relentless.
Emma Grome working so hard to put her hitters in good spots, but Maddie Skinner gets out and shuts that down.
It's a 4-0 run for Texas. Remember, Kentucky out of timeouts in this set. Haley Melby off hands.
I talked about Kentucky needing her to help score, take some pressure off the other hitters. She does a good job managing her offense there.
Kentucky struggling offensively, hitting .077 for the match. Aiden Ames out of the middle.
That is what Texas has been working on. A little bit slower tempo, but both their middle attackers are really good in front of the setter, and especially one-on-one. Aiden Ames able to score there.
It's so impressive too that Aiden Ames is a true freshman and has gotten the starting nod in the middle. Not easy. Brooklyn Delay will take that as she tries to get herself out of hitting 0.
And Grome isolates her on that left pin. Not easy to do against Texas. She had a one-on-one, and Delay able to score.
Set point for Texas.
We talk about Maddie Skinner offensively, but defensively, wow, she's so quick to get out to that pin and shut down Megan Wilson, who's a big physical attacker on the right side for Kentucky.
Madison Skinner playing against her old team. First time that she has been back in this gym where she used to be the home team. Brooklyn Delay, a couple of good swings from Delay.
And Emma Grome getting her really quick and low, allowing her to work off the block so she can gain that offensive rhythm.
Megan Wilson with an ace. It's the first ace we've had today for either team.
And Megan Wilson has been serving the ball extremely well for Kentucky. I saw her serve and pass, and she was acing everybody. Finally able to make it happen in the match.
Third set point for Texas. Singletary into the net.
Good pass by Texas, set a little bit low to Mariana Singletary. She's got a big offensive window. You want to push that a little bit higher so she can get on top of it.
Baltimore with a block!
The tough serve sets up the out-of-system play and the block stop by Kentucky. This is a bump set. Everyone knows where it's going. Brooke Bultema gets out and closes to Emma Grome for a big Kentucky point.
It is a 4-0 run for Kentucky right now. Still some work to do, but this could be a momentum changer heading in to set number 3.
volleyball is a game of momentum. Anytime you can get the ball rolling in your direction, it's a good thing. And right now, Kentucky's got it.
So Texas calls a timeout. They will have their 5th set point coming up. Want to let you know tonight the NBA preseason begins. Doubleheader on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the app. It starts at 6 Eastern with the Timberwolves and the Knicks. 8:30 Eastern, Suns and Nuggets. You can see it tonight on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and of course that ESPN app. Texas trying to take a 2-0 lead in the match, facing a Kentucky team that has won the SEC the last 7 years in a row. Of course, it's Texas's first year in the conference. Kentucky has brought that service pressure. We've seen some presence at the net too show up late here in set number 2.
And Megan Wilson right now on the service line for Kentucky, providing that spark.
She had no serves the first 9 matches, and then they've decided, you know what, we need Megan Wilson behind the service line, and this is a great example as to why. It will be the 5th set point opportunity for Texas.
And it was a block party. I mean, that was the difference for Texas in the second set. They just turned up their defensive stops, and they were impressive on both pins. Kahawai this time stays on the left side. Good left-hand press to shut down that line attack.
So now the 3rd set becomes a must-win for Kentucky if they want to extend this match. And Kentucky's got some work to do, especially offensively, hitting 0.72 compared to a Texas team that's hitting 233 for the match. Texas up 2-0 in this top 12 battle, and we're joined now by Kentucky head coach Craig Skinner. And Coach, what changed in those last 5 points where you went on that run, that 4-0 run?
The category is Halloween movies. Your just in time starts in 3, 2, 1, go!
Any adjustments you want to see going into this 3rd set?
To score some points but keep the serving pressure. We missed a couple, but we also create some chances for ourselves.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So it'll be a must-win set for Kentucky when we come back. A win for Texas, and they'll sweep on the road.
Halloween Town.
Kentucky 2-0 on the road in this SEC battle. We're joined now by Texas head coach Jared Elliott. And Coach, what did you like most about your performance in those first 2 sets?
You know, I thought we played pretty steady, and I thought our blocking was pretty good. Obviously, in game 1, we didn't get Reagan any balls, and game 2, we got her 10. So we just got to get our opposites involved a little bit more and get some good balance going.
What's your focus going into the 3rd set?
Just maintaining our mentality right now. I think it's, it's a little bit quiet right now in here, and we got to just create the energy and try to finish this out.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Texas, for the first time, of course, in the SEC, they're facing a Kentucky team that they played in the 2020 National Championship match and lost that match. But yeah, I mean, you could see it in that second set. The block was just devastating to Kentucky.
Really shut down the offense, and even though they were getting some good swings, Emma Grum was putting them in some nice spots, Texas was able to shut it down.
Reagan Rutherford, 7 kills, 6 of those coming in set number 2. And Kentucky hitting 0.72.
And on back to Reagan Rutherford, this is her first time back in this gym.
Yeah.
It's got to be an emotional day for her.
Yeah, spent 4 seasons playing for the Kentucky Wildcats and won a national championship. Now playing for Texas. This is a must-win set for Kentucky to extend the match. Rutherford going to her early, but it's long, no touch.
In Kentucky, leaving Asia Thigpen in the front row, took some nice swings, avoiding the Texas block. And Kentucky finally able to score on the hitting error by Texas.
Kentucky built a little bit of momentum at the end of that second set. It took Texas 5 set points to close it out. It's a good service run from Megan Wilson for the Cats. Aiden Ames!
And that's the slower tempo set to get Aiden Ames involved. Even though there were 2 blockers, she's able to go high inside the block out of the middle.
Aiden Ames, a freshman, but Jared Elliott told us just engaging with the coaches, wants to relate to them, doesn't act like a freshman. And she's been asked to come in and carry a big load in the middle. I mean, that's a hard position to transition to in college right away.
It certainly is. High volleyball IQ, workhorse, and the players love playing with her.
Yes.
We saw a really nice swing by Megan Wilson on the right side, finally able to score again for Kentucky.
Not to mention, too, at Texas, they've had some pretty good middle blockers over the years. Asia O'Neal being one of them last year, was a multi-All-American.
Emma Halter not afraid to step in and set that ball when the pass is off the net, sets up Skinner for the kill.
Do we think Emma Halter's afraid of anything?
No, no. When Jared Elliott talks about her, he just talks about how special she is and what a huge impact she has on this Texas team.
Halter in that black libero jersey, that defensive specialist, back row only player. Tip by Wilson. Carlson steps in, going to Skinner. Brooke Boltema with another block.
Brooke Boltema is doing the work to get out, but then the left hand, her inside hand, she's dropping it and pressing it over, taking that sharp angle away from Maddie Skinner. That's not an easy move to make.
And how do you not get fired up when your teammate has a reaction like that?
Love it.
Can confirm her dad looks just like her.
Yes, we can.
Saw him on the airplane. Yeah.
We just knew.
Boltema got a block touch on that. Skinner right side. It's going over. Texas will take it.
That time Jenna Winna steps in, pushes that ball to the left side because they were not having success on the right side, but patience ends the rally for Texas.
Not the cleanest contact, but remember, on the second ball, you can double it as long as your teammate takes the third ball.
Correct.
That's new this year.
Brooke Boltema saw an opening down the line, but misses on the execution wide.
And a service error for Maddie Skinner.
Maddie Skinner was trying to go short into traffic and just catches the top of the tape.
Service error number 4 for Brooklyn Delay.
Some days it's just not there.
Yeah. You know, though, even though Brooklyn Delay just a sophomore, we've seen her struggle at times in some matches. She never quits fighting. I mean, she is always out there working next play mentality. And she has to for everything Kentucky asks her to do.
KO. Linesperson okay,
Yeah.
wow.
When it hits the line person, it is officially out.
Yes, especially if it's on the fly. Asia Thigpen, another perfect pass for Kentucky, but Boltema doesn't get on top of this one. Jared Elliott checks the linesperson. She's okay.
Yep. Brooke Boltema did too. And Kayla Akana will take that tough serve.
Kayla Akana, always a spark off the bench, not just defensively and with her passing. She gets it done from the service line, comes up with a big point there.
I would say so. 2 years ago, she won the national championship with an ace for Texas.
Yes, she did.
Asia Thigpen getting the swing there for Kentucky, but it's blocked.
Kentucky going with Thigpen over Melby. She's got a big arm dynamic freshman attacker on the left side who just was cleared last weekend to start playing again.
He was the #1 player in North Carolina. Her dad, the defensive coordinator, inside linebackers coach at North Carolina. Just wide for Devin Kahahawai.
Kahahawai had a good look at that line and just trying to execute. If you turn that ball a little when you're on the antenna, it's going to go wide.
There you go.
Prior to this match, we talked about the first contact. Look at what happens when you put the ball in the setter's hands. All the hitters are available, and Kahahawai gets a wide open swing down the line.
And they're working against that smaller block that Asia Thigpen now that she's in the front row. Here comes Thigpen, heavy arm.
Thigpen is dynamic and sees the seam and gets on top of it quick for Kentucky. I like that choice by Craig Skinner to just go for it. They need to be able to score more points against this Texas defense.
Yeah, and again, with Erin Lamb out indefinitely, they're trying to find somebody to fill her spot. It has been Haley Melby, but now we've seen them make the change to Asia Thigpen. Dug by Tuzzo.
Texas able to get A-names involved, but Kentucky comes up with the dig and Rutherford tips that ball wide.
Both offenses struggling here in set number 3. Texas hitting 0, Kentucky hitting -100. Jordan Daly got that block. And then they just signaled point Texas.
Net violation. Thigpen got it with her left shoulder on the way down.
Violation. Point Texas.
Skinner's going to get that kill, but there you saw Kentucky shifting things on their front row. Megan Wilson was in the middle and Jordan Daly on the right side.
And they've done that several times because it gives them a little bit more versatility, and Megan Wilson can hit the quick. Names, the freshman middle blocker, joining the block party, getting out to Reagan Rutherford and closing that block, and that's the hardest part of being a freshman. Texas leading 12.
On ESPN, set number 3 between Texas and Kentucky. And Maddie Skinner, Reagan Rutherford, they've been working hard for the Texas Longhorns.
Madison Skinner has 7 kills in 3 blocks, both sides of the ball having a big impact. That ball went on the Kentucky side, and Reagan Rutherford, she has been so impressive. They couldn't get her involved early, but in the second set, she heated up. 8 kills and 2 blocks for Texas.
Yeah, 6 of those coming in that second set.
20 points scored between these 2 players for Texas.
This is a must-win set for Kentucky as Texas leads the match 2-0. In comes Reagan Rutherford, hitting hard off the block.
Reagan Rutherford was trying to sneak it inside the angle earlier in this match, but that time just going high flat off the hands of Daly.
Largest lead for Texas here in set 3. Halter dug, it's a free ball back to Kentucky. Daly's tip will work.
Jordan Daly placed that ball perfectly in the center of the court. Rutherford got all the way there, but Skinner was on her way, and then nobody to play that second ball.
Ames with one blocker in front of her, she'll take advantage.
Jarrett Elliott talks about Jenna Winnes being the glue, and the way she puts up that pass allows them to run that high percentage attack to Aiden Ames on that last play.
Ames with 4 kills, no errors.
Megan Wilson at Point Kentucky.
Megan Wilson hitting the quick ball out of the middle, showing her versatility. Both she and Jordan Daly working on some different types of offensive and defensive plays for Kentucky.
Singletary still making it work.
Yeah, that time she couldn't get on top of it to hit it, but smart decision to just go soft touch over the block.
So now Texas makes the setter sub. Avery Carlson back. Texas up 15-9, still going to 25. Brooklyn delay, tooling the block for her 9th kill.
Asia Thigpen taking a lot of the passing responsibility in the backcourt, taking the pressure off Brooklyn delay so she can go to work offensively.
And an ace for Bevan.
Floater down the line. Lots of good movement on that ball by Bevan.
Second ace for Kentucky. And then a service error. That's 11 service errors now for the Cats. Yeah, and Emma Halter, when she went after that ball, went way under the center line. So that's going to be a point for Kentucky.
Love the effort by Halter, but she had so much momentum chasing that ball that she crossed under.
She will literally run all over the gym.
Yes, she will.
To track a ball down. You do have to keep 1 foot on the floor, just for the record. Kahawai tooling the block.
I like that location by Avery Carlson. Even though the pass is on the 3-meter line, she's able to push that ball to the right pin, and Kahawai attacking that seam, but nice high.
Addition Avery Carlson has been to get her transferring in after she was a big-time setter there at Baylor. Delay back row. And Big Pin is blocked, but Texas block travels, folks.
And there were some backcourt defensive plays, starting with Akana, and then Aiden Ames gets out to Kahawai, who sets up that block on the right pin.
12 team blocks for the Longhorns. Dribbler over the net. One-handed set.
Tight ball, but Avery Carlson able to put that up for the middle attacker. Good point by Texas.
And Kentucky is going to take a timeout. You know, when we started this match, we talked about back row play and passing, and we've seen so many Texas players with some nice passes today.
It's crucial. You need a first contact to be able to use all your offensive weapons. Look at that first ball by Halter. Skinner putting it right in her setter's hand so she can run the middle attack. Maddie Skinner again putting it up to the net. And then Jenna Wenis, look at that one-arm dig with control. So Texas is able to run their offense.
And you know, a couple of times we just showed you Madison Skinner passing. They had taken some load off of her where she wasn't playing all the way around, and they're slowly adding that back on.
And it shows. I think she's able to take just a sliver of the court, gain her confidence, and work back into her passing rhythm. And they've got the players to take that pressure off of her. That's a blessing.
And Madison Skinner, such a veteran, a three-time All-American, a three-time national champion, of course, played at Kentucky, won that 2020 national championship with her sister Avery. And I mean, some people don't even win one national championship in their career, and she has 3.
Pretty impressive. But she's a special kind of player, and she makes the players around her better, and that's what makes a great player. That's how you win national championships, by making the players around you better.
I will say it's pretty cool too. She's in a national hotel chain commercial now,
I saw that last night.
Yeah, keep that, you know,
Maddie
you can
Skinner,
catch her.
the face of volleyball.
Her Texas Longhorns up 19-12. If they win this set, they win the match.
Asia Thigpen going off the block of Kahawai. When you've got a wall in front of you, you've got to use it. And that time using the edge of the block for the Kentucky point.
And that's a nice adjustment for Asia Thigpen because she's struggled a couple of swings against that big block.
And that's what Craig Skinner wanted his team to do. He didn't think they were doing that earlier in the match.
Kahawai, no problem with the Jordan Daly block.
Jordan Daly just a little bit late, pushing her hands over the net, and that ball went straight down on the Kentucky side.
Longhorns 5 points away from winning this match. For the longest time, Kentucky and Florida have been the big names in the SEC, but here comes Texas, the back-to-back national champion, into the conference. A critical match for them. Delay, soaring, flying out of the back row.
That's the first time today we've seen Brooklyn DeLay and Emma Grome connect on that back row attack. And this is such a big weapon for Kentucky. Look at the one-on-one, and she goes cross-body to that corner. Big offensive play for Kentucky there.
11 kills for Brooklyn DeLay to lead all attackers in this match. Abe's crushing it in the middle.
Texas getting better at involving their middles offensively, and Abe Names one-on-one crushes that one set. Ada Names late on the block with her hands, and Thigpen makes her pay. Excuse me, that was delay on the swing. Or no,
it was Asia Thigpen.
It was Thigpen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Grome to delay, dug by Halter. Just a beautiful dig by Emma Halter, and Madison Skinner finishes it off with the swing.
Watch Emma Halter slide into that corner, and then Ella Swindle gives this ball enough height that Maddie Skinner can go flat down that line.
6 assists, 8 digs for Halter. That is in for Brooklyn DeLay.
Brooklyn DeLay adjusting her offense. That one just carving down the line.
Texas needs 3 more points. Ultima will take the swing.
Craig Skinner's going to challenge that. Looked like it might have caught the corner.
Well, the linesperson put the flag down, signaling in, and the up official overruled.
Well, that linesperson's got the back line, and he's got the sideline.
So this is challenged.
The ruling on the court is points. Texas, Kentucky is challenging and out on the final attack.
This is Kentucky's second challenge. They were successful in their first challenge.
After review, the ruling on the court is reversed. Points to Kentucky, and they retain their challenge.
So Craig Skinner correct in 2 challenges today. Yeah, that's the Hawkeye system. You can see on the bottom right, I mean, that's perfect.
It is perfect, and that's why we love Hawkeye.
Such a great addition to the SEC. Again, they have all of our broadcast cameras, but an additional 12 cameras they can look at, and how quickly they make the call is also really impressive. And we in TV are grateful.
Yes, we are.
Solid pass from Winnis. Rutherford with the tip.
Rutherford perfectly placed ball. 2 players for Kentucky going for that. Wilson came all the way over from right front. Little collision there, but everyone's okay.
I think it's clear as Texas goes on, they're just more and more comfortable running this 6-2. It looks like they've been doing it all season. Madison Skinner got that block up. It is match point Longhorns.
Maddie Skinner just really doing a nice job locking in on her defensive responsibilities on that left pin as a blocker. It was all about the defense, especially the net defense of Texas. Their block was everywhere.
13th straight season that Texas has started 5-0 in conference play. Of course, their first year in the SEC, but such an important match when you're facing a team like Kentucky who has won the last 7 SEC titles.
And this is the first time in a long time they played in this gym.
So Texas looking comfortable on the road. They come out with a sweep. We'll be back and talk to one of the Texas